This is problem number 4 from section 1.6. In this problem it says a formula for a function y equals f of x is f of x equals 3x cubed plus 9. Find f inverse of x and identify the domain and range of f inverse. To check the answer, determine whether f of f inverse equals f inverse of f of x equals x, meaning plug each function into each other and check to see that you come out with just x. So first of all, we need to find f inverse. So we have f of x equals 3x cubed plus 9. The first thing we want to do is we want to replace f of x with y. So it says y equals 3x cubed plus 9. Then we want to switch x and y so that we have x equals 3y cubed plus 9. And then we want to solve for y. So we want to subtract 9 from each side. And we get x minus 9 equals 3y cubed. Then we want to divide by 3 on each side. So we're going to divide by 3 here, divide by 3 here. We get x minus 9 divided by 3 equals y cubed. And finally, we want to cube root each side. So we're going to cube root the right side and cube root the left side. And we'll end up with cube root of x minus 9 over 3 equals cube root y cubed, which is going to give you cube root of x minus 9 over 3 equals y. So this is our inverse, but we need to write it as that. So we're going to replace the y with f inverse of x. So f inverse of x is cube root of x minus 9 over 3. And then we want to state the domain and range. Well, remember with inverses, so inverses, we know domain and range switch. So because we know the domain and range switch, we can say that because this function here is a polynomial, its domain is negative infinity to infinity, and its range is negative infinity to infinity. So its inverse is going to have the same, its inverse is going to have the same range for its domain. So domain for this inverse is going to be the range of that function, which was negative infinity to infinity. And its range is going to be the domain of that function. Well, the domain here is also negative infinity to infinity. So because we know inverses, the domain and range switch, we can say that the domain and range for the inverse function is essentially the domain and range switch from the original function. So then we want to check this. So we want to say f of f inverse of x, which is equal to f, we plug in f inverse, which is the cube root of x minus 9 over 3, and that's going to equal 3, and I'll have the cube root of x minus 9 over 3 cubed, because we're using this function, remember the f function, plus 9. When that equals, the cube roots and the root and the exponential cancel, we're left with 3 times, when that cancels, you're left with 3 times x minus 9 over 3 plus 9. The 3's cancel, so you're left with, it'd be x minus 9 plus 9, which equals x, which is what we were looking for. So now we want to do f inverse of f of x, which means we're going to plug in the original function in for the inverse, so f inverse of 3x cubed plus 9. Well, that's going to equal, when I plug 3x cubed plus 9 into the actual inverse, which is here, I'm going to get the cube root of 3x cubed plus 9 minus 9 over 3, which is going to give you the cube root of, when these cancel, you get 3x cubed over 3. The 3's cancel, So you're left with cube root of x cubed, which gives you, when you take the cube root of x cubed, you end up with just x. So we ended up with x in each situation, so we can say that these two things are inverses of each other.